Hello, everybody. Welcome back to In Our Humble Opinion. My name's Chachi. Tom's back from his vacation. We're going to go over the Packer game, the Thursday nighter. I already talked about it, so I'm going to let Tom go, and then we're just going to go over the stuff around the league. It's going to be a quick one. Go ahead, Tom. Do your thing, buddy. I got it up on the screen for you. Detroit won 34-31. Go ahead, Tom. Talk your thoughts.
My thoughts. Number one, I'm not really concerned. I mean, again, I think the one thing that was disappointing in the game is I don't understand where, Matt LaFleur and the offense decided, hey, we should throw the ball around the park, and they started off so slow in a game they couldn't afford to do that. I think that's my biggest thing with Jordan Love right now is just there's something, he's almost playing too cautious, but, I think he's missing guys, and also just early in the games, I like he's taking checkdowns, taking what the defense is giving him, but there's a lot of times I don't know. I think it's almost too conservative, and you saw, he had some throws that were just incredible in that game, and you want to just see more of that, but everybody keeps forgetting. He's not even in year 2 yet.
Oh, yeah.
Done with year 2. So he's still super young when it comes to his NFL career and playing. Defensively, it's just, you see how much they miss Jair Alexander, and this defense, I think the pass rush would have been 55 times better if, he's out there locking down a part of the field. And
True.
You just gotta wonder next year if they're gonna move on, because it's hard to have this guy out there for less than 50% of the time, season after season. He clearly
100%.
can't stay healthy. I don't know what his deal is, but it's every year there's something. I don't know what to say, but Green Bay's pass rush, the only guy they got really right now is Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, true.
And that's, you're seeing the results from a productivity standpoint.
Oh, no, 100%.
When you can't get a pass rush and they run that single high safety like they are, you see what happens. Look, there's a lot of also bad calls. The refs are terrible.
Yeah.
Definitely big homers in that game. But I'm going to quote Matt LaFleur, and I agree from when I played, too. Don't let the refs, don't put the hands in the refs' game. Or put the game in the refs' hands. There you go.
Yeah, don't put your hands in the refs' game. Yeah.
I'll just call they were terrible. They really were. It was a joke. They've been terrible all year in the NFL. To be frank, they're just not consistent, and it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I just don't. It's like you just said. My only issue. I don't think. I'm not saying it won them the game or they would have won the game because of it. I'm just saying it's just when it's blatant. I'm like, you guys don't want to call it. And for me, it's just the defensive aspect to the offensive aspect in games. I'm not even picking teams. A receiver can sometimes just throw the dude out of the way and they don't say nothing. But when a corner just breathes on the freaking receiver, it's a flag. And I'm like, dude, you guys gotta chill with that. Because what I don't like is when a team's down. Now I see what they do. They just throw deep passes and the receiver flops, and then a flag comes out and they get a 50-yard gain, and it's like, that's corny.
Dude,
that's corny.
You nailed it, man.
It
is. What I don't like, though, is the refs at the end of the game, when it is decided, if they let that play go, Green Bay scores a touchdown versus kick a field goal.
Yep.
Totally different ball game.
And I said, I don't think the Watson one was a bad call. I just think if you're going to call that, you definitely have to call that Amon-Ra St. Brown double hand push off. He didn't do the thing. Everyone that played football knows the one that you never get called for. You get inside on the guy's chest, you put your arm out a little bit on his chest, and then you push. He took both hands and pushed him. It's like, dude, that's PI. That's PI.
It's not even that play. It's not even that one.
That was mine.
It was the 3 plays before it where Laporta literally is blocking the guy downfield.
Yeah,
that's
before the ball. Yeah.
Gibbs.
Yeah.
And then the same, they did it 100%. Again. It was not Laporta. It was Amon-Ra St. Brown did it again.
Yep.
They ran 2 pick plays in a row, and they're like, nope, that's not offensive pass interference.
And
so you're going to call that in a critical critical moment in the red zone,
but not
but
there.
then you're not
yes.
going to call it on them.
No, 100%.
Got it. That was, look, I'll say this right now about Detroit. Right now in the regular season, they are the best team. If they play like that and Dan Campbell continues to go for it the way he does,
which I don't get.
they will not win in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's going to lose another
sorry.
game. He's going to lose another game.
They're going to do exactly what they did in San Francisco. You have to be able to play field position sometimes. I agree with the call at the end of the game.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't agree with when they went for it on the 30. Like, they went for it on their own 30. You spotted Green Bay 7 points.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Like,
that was.
I'm sorry. There's moments where it's
I
like,
think
no.
I like the aggressiveness when it's a close game, like in the beginning. I love it, but I don't think he knows how to turn it off when, like, hey, you're winning by like 20. Just take the 3. It's math now. We're playing math. You know what I mean? That's how you try to win.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. So, look, Green Bay they aren't. They're clicking on 7 cylinders, probably 6.5. They're not clicking on all 8. And I think a lot, and it starts on offense. That's where, like, I think their defense is going to be really good. And you're going to see that when they can play with an actual lead, like a substantial lead, right? It's just, I think their defense is vastly improved. I'm so surprised just, like, the pass rush doesn't exist. But, unfortunately, though, I think in the playoffs, that's what's going to kill them, is when the games are close and you need a pass rush and it's just non-existent. So you're praying that Xavier McKinney gets a turnover or something like that, and I'm just not so sure it's going to happen. But, anyways, yeah. Here.
Yeah, I thought I already told everyone what I thought in the last video, or last one last week. It was actually on Friday I did it, or Saturday I did it, so the game was already over. I went over it. But, I agree with Tom. I think the Packers are going to be fine. I think the Lions are, I think Tom's right. I think they are the best right now, but I also think they might have peaked too early, A, and B, Dan Campbell, buddy, when you're up, playing, you don't even have a bad defense. Like, punt the ball. It's not, like, terrible. Like, just play the field position game. I don't get it. Like Tom said, sometimes it's just too crazy. But now we're going to go around the rest of the league. Just real quick, shouldn't be that long. We're gonna do it. How we do it now. The Jets are a dumpster fire. I mean, that was the other game that pops up right after that. So, I mean, what do you think about that, Tom? I mean, I don't know what they do. It's a mess, and they're old.
I do want to add one more thing about the Lions game.
Good.
Lions fan, you all have never had success in your life. Stop acting like D-bags.
Yeah,
thank you.
True.
I'm done. Like, seriously, you're literally like the little brother that had sex the first time.
Oh God.
And I'm calling it out there. It is. It's true. And it's pathetic. Just stop. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
It's just really annoying, and I think they've gotten on their high horse, and they don't understand that they've won nothing.
That's true. They should have made the Super Bowl last year too. Your coach kind of screwed you. He definitely did. Kinda. Nope. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I agree. It reminds me of, like, when the Bengals started winning. No offense, Bengals fans. I know the Ravens fans are annoying too, believe me. But the Bengals were talking big game about losing a Super Bowl. I don't know what you're doing. That is not the way to do it. So calm down.
I will say this, though. At least the Bengals have the hardware from the AFC title game. The Lions have nothing.
Yeah, true,
they have
true.
two division title games.
Look, and look. The thing I will give the Bengals fans to you do have it is a much better team too. They're really. I know they're not great or anything, but you got Burrow and Chase, and they're pretty fun. I mean, I can't hate. And the thing I got to give them the most credit for, I know it's completely off the ledge, and we're going to like the Bengals, but their jerseys are fire too. I can't even hate on y'all. Them jerseys is cold. Don't ever change them. The Bengals, you got it. You figured it out. Don't change your jerseys. They're really nice.
But all right, going back to the Jets.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Lions,
yes,
I agree.
Dude.
Tom's right. Calm down, guys. Hope your coach will pick it up. Okay, the Jets. Okay, go, Tom. Go for it.
So the Jets. Hold on. You go ahead.
Okay, well, the Jets. I mean, now you made your team. Your team's in deep trouble now. You're old. Your quarterback that you thought was going to save your team's probably going to leave. I thought he played a great game this last game. It's just, I mean, Miami's a tough team to play right now because they're not as bad as their record says. You know, they're tough. Tua's back. He's playing really well. They're a really solid team, but the Jets just, it's the typical, oh, look on paper, our team's really good, and then you play and you realize that's not how you do. You don't play it on paper, bro. You gotta play. Me and Tom were trying to tell you on the show. I'm not saying he's bad, but Sauce Gardner wasn't like everybody was trying to act like he was. He wasn't like Mr. Shutdown. He's all right. He holds a lot. That's what he does. To be honest with you, he's real physical. That's it. And here's the other problem with him. He's real physical on the receivers. But when he in the run game, he don't do nothing for you. He ain't tackling nobody. I mean, it's not. I'm not trying to hate, but some of their players that were considered really good they weren't bad. Sauce Gardner's a good corner, but he's not. No, he's not like the guy in New England who doesn't get any credit because the team's bad. Christian Gonzalez. I know I bring him up a lot, but every time I watch him, he's like following people. He's playing really well. He is a true like old school. Hey, he's gonna move with the guy you're playing with guy. Like, he was really good. He follows the receivers. He's a really good player. But you know, the defense isn't playing as well this year. The offense is just, there's just lapses all the time. They're just not good, man. I don't know what to say. They're a mess, and they're old. They're old. They're old with giving a lot of old people money. They're in trouble.
Yeah, they spent. I mean, they built the fantasy football team instead of developing a real. And their owner decided, hey, I'm going to fire Robert Saleh,
which was dumb. Yes.
Like, I don't think Saleh's the problem.
Well, look how the defense dropped when he got fired. Look how the defense dropped when he got fired. Yeah. It's crazy. It was like they're not even close.
Yeah, because Ulbrich now has to. He has to sit there and head coach and be a defensive coordinator as like the first time in the NFL being as a head coach. You got to be the DC.
Yep.
Like, that's hard.
Yeah.
Like, dude, well, this is the thing. Like, Woody Johnson doesn't understand is nobody's gonna want to go there.
No.
To coach, and they're gonna continue to get these awful coaches.
100%.
It is what it is, man. Like, I can't really.
Well, Tom, it's underrated.
I mean.
They fired Saleh, and Saleh, a lot of people like him in the league. That's like you said. It's going to go around like, yo, you did him dirty. We ain't hot. We don't want to work for you. That was bad.
Well, no, he's on the Green Bay Packers as a consultant.
Yeah.
He's like on the consultant on offense. Like, he got hired in a heartbeat. He's a good coach. Like, sorry, and no, that does play a role. Like, think about it. The Panthers. They were lucky they got Canales from Tampa Bay, but it was not.
No.
Nobody wants to go there to Carolina either because it's a mess.
Yep.
And that's going to affect free agents and stuff. Like, you can't.
I agree.
You can't do those things. That's all. Like, and yeah, Woody John. I mean, I just think it's funny. Aaron and Devontae thought, hey, they can do so much better than Green Bay, and those two are Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and the answer is no.
You can take whatever football. You can try to make it a individual sport all you want. All these players can everybody. It's not. It's never gonna be this crap where we sit on here every week on TV. I'm just telling y'all, don't drink the Kool-Aid. They try to get you to watch these shows by making this like comparison with quarterbacks and MVP crap. Listen, it's a team sport. Even the players will tell you, they might lie to you in a moment and be like, oh, I don't regret it. You would rather be on a winning team. It's really fun in football when your team's winning. It really is. It's great. That's the thing. It's a team sport. The whole team's got to play together. You ain't going to win nothing. You ain't.
Well, that's what, no, and that's where I got to say, like, I get tired of everybody ragging on, like, the Packers organization, right, for the way they do things. It clearly works. I think there's times where do they miss really good free agents and draft picks? Sure. But everybody does.
No, 100%.
You know what, though? I would rather always be relevant.
No, true. 100%.
And that's what they are.
And I understand. I understand
it's not the Jets situation where like they're all in is let's go get a 40-year-old quarterback and go get a has-been wide receiver. Like, you clearly see, like, look, Devontae Adams is talented, but look, it's a young man's game. Like, think who gets the most of the targets. It's Wilson. It ain't even Adams. Adams really doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I understand that. I understand from their perspective, too. Like, hey, maybe it's the best for us, and that's true. I'm not saying I'm glad for Aaron and him, Devontae, if they got the money they wanted and everything. And maybe they're in a good situation. Like Devontae said, he's happy where he's at. Maybe it is better than Oakland, which is I'm okay with. That's fine. I'm not hating on him. That's great. Because maybe he's in a different part of his career. That's cool. Maybe he just wants to have fun playing and just like, that's it. All good. I don't want to make it sound like I'm mad at him. I'm just saying, you got to do the best for your team sometimes, and that's what the Packers do, and it's smart. It's the same thing with the Ravens. There's a lot of guys I wish we still had, but I also, like going to this point, Clowney's enjoying himself in Carolina. They're not a good team, but he's having a good time. Who am I to tell him that's not the way you want to play? I mean, all year you've heard nothing bad about him. He's played from everybody's perspective. That guy's played well. He's good. He's like, I'm going home. I'm just going to play, have a good time. And, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I think Devontae Adams quit on the Raiders, which...
And we'll get into the...
At the end of the day, Josh, Devontae Adams wanted to be in Oakland or LA.
Yeah.
Or Vegas, I can't get it right.
Vegas,
he really
yeah.
did.
No, 100%.
Right, because Green Bay didn't want him.
Yep.
Okay? Anymore, because Green Bay doesn't give out third contracts to wide receivers, which I agree with. Wide receivers, you can find them. You can't find Justin Jeffersons and stuff, but you can find the other guys.
Pretty good guys, yeah.
But I will say, he didn't really want to be there, and honestly, Aaron Rodgers kept screwing around with the Packers organization year after year after year, and they both wore out their welcome, and that's the one thing I like about the NFL is, look, let the GMs do their job, and you clearly see this is what will happen if the GM does not lets the players lets the inmates run the asylum. I'm going to say it. It's the truth. Like, you cannot do it. Like, their job is to play football. Shut up and do it. Stop, Aaron Rodgers, I think, what I'm disappointed is I think he's really tainted his career because of, all this nonsense. From my standpoint, he was good in Green Bay. He did some amazing things, but there's a lot of just, I wonder, man.
Yeah, well, Tom, that isn't even Tom. That isn't even my thing. I'm like, I get your personal stuff. I understand that. I don't know what you're going. I don't know why you're going or what. Maybe you have a reason. That's cool. Maybe you want the money. I do not have a problem with that because that is a sport where you do not play that long. My thing is to take the shots when you leave. Sometimes it's just ridiculous. Just play ball. It's all good. Hey, we sometimes both sides move on. It is what it is. I mean, it's not a big deal. Hey, it happens. It's cool. It's just going to be turnover in a sport like football. Like you said, it's a young man's game, and unfortunately, it is a business. So they have to sit there and be like, "Hey, we're going to do this." You understand what I'm saying? We got to go this way because he's much younger. So it is what it is.
You can't pay quarterbacks $55 million a year against the cap and expect to have everybody under the sun on your team.
No.
Again, you don't
100%.
hear Mahomes screaming about it. You never heard Tom Brady scream about it. Aaron Rodgers is the only one that ever complained, and he arguably had one of the best set of offensive weapons in 2011 ever.
Yeah, he don't.
I don't know if it's as good as the 07 Patriots, but dang, it was close. They broke a ton of records.
Yeah.
And, they kept that around for a long time.
No, I agree with you.
That core of people was there for 5 years plus.
No, I agree.
So, like I said, I get tired of his. I think number one, it sucks because it's ESPN, so they always cover New York, and it's so annoying to listen to it because it's nobody cares. The Jets are terrible. Aaron Rodgers is basically he's trying to be relevant, and he's not, and that's it. They'll be done soon, and I'm assuming he's done after this year. I really, really do. But, yeah, I mean, they're a dumpster fire. I mean, I think it's interesting you see a team like Carolina that's able to kind of turn it around. You got Bryce Young, playing well. I mean, Philly, like I said, that's where, I'm not so sure how I feel about all these teams in the NFL. There's nobody that's really elite.
No.
They're just kind of met. Any given Sunday, it will
Oh,
be.
the playoffs are going to be wild.
The playoffs.
It's going to be wild. It really is.
I would not be shocked if number one seed, the top seeds fall.
No, me either.
Because of, I just don't think they're that good. You could argue that Philly might be better than Detroit, but I'm honestly not so sure after watching that Carolina game. When they bottled up Saquon, which Green Bay actually did a really good job of in the first game, and they kept Jalen Hurts in the pocket, they weren't really good.
No, I agree.
They were very mediocre.
I agree.
Jalen Hurts is not a good thrower of the football. I don't know why he gets as much hype as he does. He has a decent deep ball, but he's throwing A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. Come on, man. Yeah. Just got to throw it up. It's not that hard.
I also, and I like A.J. Brown, but you could have said that behind closed. I don't know why you want to make animosity on a team that has a good record. That's the kind of shit you just go and hey, you got to throw the ball to me more. Don't say it in the media though, bro. That's dumb. You're just giving your team crap for no reason. Right now, no one's giving them shit, and it's I'm gonna make a big deal out of this. So we gotta. It's just dumb. It makes no sense. It's not smart. I'm just saying. A.J. Brown's amazing, though. I mean, I agree. I think their passing struggles are on Jalen because there's plays where they're both open and you don't throw. But you could have said that without putting it in the media. That's kind of wild, but whatever. Hey, I agree. We're already going to other teams. We're getting this all through. Falcons need to definitely go to Penix. I don't know what they're doing. Kirk's been terrible. I mean, terrible. 8 picks, no touchdowns.
Honestly, I'm going to argue that point though. I know Kirk's been terrible. I truly think it's the Falcons have no offensive identity.
No, I agree with that, but he is.
Kirk throws it to Ray McLeod and Moody are the best receivers on that team. Drake London's meh. You have Kyle Pitts, who is non-existent and just is terrible. He was a terrible pick to begin with. And Bijan is a top 5 running back in the NFL, and he just doesn't seem to get enough carries.
No, I agree.
I don't know. It's kind of like Green Bay's problem. Well, Green Bay, I know what their identity is. They are a run-first team. The Falcons, I don't understand why they throw it 40 times with Kirk, because they don't need to.
No, I agree.
I honestly don't think Kirk is the problem. They don't, they're putting it all on him. And he's never been able to do that. And he threw it 40-plus times he's throwing 40-plus times the past 4 games. He's breaking franchise records with yards and stuff. He's productive.
I agree with you, but I also think his arm's just not the same, man. Some of them throws, I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's one thing for you, just to make a bad read, but that one, you're over floating the ball. They don't have chemistry. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's just some of those throws. I'm what is going on? That one pick.
You have to.
I don't know what they're doing. I'm dude, where are you throwing that?
They have the two best. They have one, probably, I would argue, the best running back tandem in the NFL with Algier and
I agree.
Bijan Robinson. They do not get enough touches.
I know Detroit people are going to argue. I'm I don't know about all that because them two are pretty tough. They're both could be actual bell cows. Dude, that's my argument.
Yeah, it's a tough. I would probably lean right now to Detroit just because statistically you see it. But dude, when Algier, they actually give him the ball 10 times. That guy's basically like Montgomery.
Well, Tom, you know how it is though. They're doing the thing that the modern NFL where it's running the balls. But guys, if you run the ball effectively, it can wear a team down, man.
So my point about Kirk, I'm not defending him. I think what's happening is his arm's beat up because he's done I was at the Thursday night game where he threw for 505 yards. They threw it 60 times with him. That's a lot to put on this guy. And I just don't understand why that needs to be. I would agree. I think at this point, you probably should give him a break.
Well, that's my point in playing Penix, because then you'll be more run-oriented, right? So then you're more playing towards your team's strengths. I think it helps both ways.
Maybe.
Because then he can throw deep. So then you just.
Whoever this offensive coordinator is for Atlanta, I'm just not so sure. They seem to want to run the screens and the quick stuff.
But I'm with you.
They have the weapons.
I'm with you. I don't know what happened because I'm I don't see them running the ball a lot, and it's kind of weird to me. I'm I don't know what's going on with that. It's very odd.
Well, don't you think so Bijan's stat line was like 19 rushes for like 90 some yards and a touchdown last week, and I just feel like that's not enough. I don't know, like think about like how they get the ball to like run quick screens with like Jabir Gibbs and all those, and like Montgomery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they doing that with Bijan? And Algier, I don't know if he has really good hands, but like, dude, get the guy the ball in his hands.
I agree.
He's just electric.
I agree.
I just don't like. I watch. Yeah, Kyle Pitts. I don't know what to say about him. I really don't. Like, dude, that they just need to move on and call it a loss, because that guy. I just, he's kind of like. I'm supposed to come. What am I doing? Am I going?
Yeah, I agree.
What?
It just hasn't worked out with him.
Sorry.
It just has not worked out. Maybe a change of scenery will help him, and hopefully. I don't know, but
yeah, no, but I will say, like, yeah, the Falcons are like, they've got to figure out something, because I mean, they're just, I think too though, it's defensively, like, dude, Minnesota, like, oh my, they're just guys running wide open.
Yeah.
On extended plays and not playing sound defense.
Yeah, that's
and
bad.
They have 2 veteran safeties. They don't have the best corners. AJ Terrell isn't terrible, but
Tom said he all right.
yeah, he's good. He's not a lockdown corner though. He's more of a zone corner.
Gotcha.
He's their front 7 is playing a lot better. Like, dude, they're getting pressure a lot more than they have in the past.
Okay.
But
I agree. So
yeah, anyway,
how about the Buff? How about I want to get into
my assessment of Atlanta.
receiver of the week for me, because I want to just get into that because Tom knows I love my receivers. How about Puka Nacua, man? That guy. That was a hell of a game. I watched that whole game, man. My man was like Tom just said. Now, what did the Rams do? They got the ball to him every way they could. They knew, and in big spots, who they throw it to. Him. They knew. Stafford was like, "Where's my boy at? We about to get this first down real quick." A very, very creative way of getting him the ball. And did you see that catch with his toes, man, on the sideline? That was great. Oh, that guy can play, man. What a steal too. How about that 5th round magic?
Oh yeah, dude. Sean McVay again, number one. The Bill, him and Snead to get those guys late, like Cooper or Cup and Nacua. But also, like, McVay for constantly, like, dude, he knows how to scheme up those guys open. Like, that's what I appreciate. It's like, that's kind of the odd thing in Green Bay right now. Jaden Reed with 0 targets last week against
that was
Detroit.
Weird. That was weird, yeah.
He is your best weapon. And, like, what's weird is he's actually good, like, 10, 15 yards down the field. That's where if you hit him on, like, these deep, drag routes and stuff, man, he's good.
Yeah.
He gets the ball in his hand, it's just like, ooh.
Like a punt returner, man. You gotta be ready. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, he's not getting his opportunities, and it's just crazy to me. Like, that's just mismanagement.
Dude,
like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, but.
Well, my thing is, it's showing you too.
And not running too. I don't want the stupid jet sweeps and all that stuff.
I agree.
Everybody knows he's going to do that, dude. You need to get the guy the ball in space.
I want to reiterate too, right? The thing with football that is underrated with receivers, and I feel like they gloss over it too much. These aren't the fastest people, but they catch. You got to catch the ball. When you have really good hands, you can play receiver for a long time. You can catch the ball. That's what you got to do more than anything. We need them hands. We got to have the ball. Okay, catch the ball, guys. So many times you'll see a guy. He can run like a deer. Can't catch. It drops everything. We need you to catch the ball. Patrick Johnson, Ravens fans, 98 baby.
Oh God.
He could run. He'd be open 30 yards. He'd drop the hell out of it every time. He caught a couple.
No, that's Dontavian Wicks for the Packers, man.
You got to catch the ball,
the guy
guys.
Can run he runs routes like Devontae Adams, but he's got 2 paddles for hands. And a lot of it's because he just doesn't use his hands. He catches it with his body. So
that's why I always love my boy Likely.
I gotta get running. Time to take these kiddos.
Oh, it's cool though. We pretty much went over everything. The rest of it's kind of like par for the course. But anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Likes is always appreciated. And as always, Tom. Subscribe for more content as
Roll
well.
Tide.
Roll
Anchor down.
Anchor down.